Hi everyone, thanks for watching. My name is Claudia Serea and I'll read a few poems from my upcoming collection, Writing on the Walls at Night, which will be published by Unsolicited Press in January 2022. All was well in hell. Nothing to watch on TV but speeches. Large industrial plants manufactured wooden clocks, tin birds, and bells with no tongues. There was a 3-year waiting list for a car without gas. We played outside all day with chalk and a ball. The key tied around my neck jumped up and down and printed a dark bruise on my chest. Lights off early in the entire cement city. Dear comrades, we know you need your beauty sleep. The tooth fairy was not allowed to fly behind the iron curtain. Instead, my brother and I were visited by an old toothless fairy. She limped into the room, stole the coins from the piggy bank, and placed small potatoes under our pillows. There was an endless invention fair, and we thought of the most amazing things. The suitcase that would carry itself with a small motor. The thermo boots that would warm your souls in the deep winter freeze. The toaster that would make sausage as well, and eggs sunny side up, and arrange them into a smiley face on the plate. I love America, you said. When we'll go there, with all these ideas, we'll be rich in no time. Sometimes I can't fall asleep because of the noises. Once I swallowed my tooth and the tooth fairy reached inside me to grab it. I had a huge collection of shoes, all kinds, multicolored and flickering like butterflies. It was worth millions. The queen stole it from me and inspected each shoe for specks of dust. Just then Prince Charles burst in, dragging behind a grandfather clock. He gave it to me and I ran into it, tickety-tock. My name was Glamour Diva, and I was a mouse on top of Big Ben. The huge arms moved over the world until they struck 12, and the cuckoo came out. The bus pulls in. Inside it, small children hang from the straps like piglets in the smoker. Each time a child boards the bus, comrade teacher snatches them and hangs them up to dry. We're next in line. I'm trying to get mom's attention, but she's busy talking on the phone. Hanging room only, the bus driver says, and we step back. The bus closes the doors and drives away. There were no magic beans. But everyone had a magic beanstalk made of copper wire. It grew from the radio, curled around the radiator, across the room, up to the ceiling, and through the roof. Each day, I climbed it all the way to Munich and West Berlin. Ich bin ein Berliner, said the handsome president. Yeah, we all were, behind the tall walls where his speech never made it. It's easy to talk now, but what did you do then? I climbed the beanstalk and listened to rock music. Illegal stuff, like hot, sticky, sweet ration sugar. I envied the polka dot crocodile, who somehow managed to smuggle a request to the radio station and dedicated a song to his high school sweetheart, the princess with a heart of broken glass. At night, I used a dream sharpener. When the dream's pointed tip, I drew a window in the wall and escaped. Aunt Susie and the Village. In the dead of winter, there was much to do and no TV to watch, so I took up crocheting. I crocheted replicas of all the people in the village, of Aunt Susie, old man Gheorghe, my neighbor Lulu, my cousin Elena, reading a crocheted book, the woman, Baba Marina, the ghost from the cemetery, everyone. I crocheted their eyeglasses, headscarves, clothes, their cheeks and lips, their hair. I crocheted Aunt Susie's dog from brown fuzzy yarn and her flock of geese from feathery white and gray threads. And when Aunt Susie died, I crocheted her organs from bright red and brown silk and her skeleton complete with ivory teeth, floppy ribs, and soft phalanges. I crocheted her brain, ruffled and creased with all her cloudy yarn thoughts and convoluted synapses. I assembled her body on the dining room table, each organ nestled in a crinkly silk sack. The heart was the last to go in. Knotted and intricate, with all the blood threads laced through the body. People said I had too much time on my hands, but what do they know? I told them fate crochets us all the time with colorful threads. She links the day with the night, mother with child, spring with summer, with fall, with winter, and life with death. One loop, slip stitch, chain, turn, join two stitches, repeat. She drives her hook through my brother and me, and we both hang by a thread, then by another. Loop, stitch, chain, repeat. Fate has too much time on her hands. The Russian hat. Everyone had a Russian hat in Romania. I got mine at the flea market. It was expensive, oversized, and soft, with a silver sheen. There were people who said my hat was made of cat fur, that all Russians' hats were, but I knew different. It was a skinned Russian bunny. I walked through cold Romanian winters with a silver bunny curl on my head. From under it, you could only see my eyes. My headaches grew worse with each winter. It was the hat wrapped tightly around my head. It kept it warm, but it was heavy and squeezed my skull. I suspected it wanted to smother my thoughts in fur. I stopped wearing my Russian hat when I got to America, after it started bellowing Russian ballads loud enough to cover the noise on 34th Street. Ochi chornie, ochi straznie. It was embarrassing. I sold it to Ursula for $5. Ursula was Swiss and looked very pretty in my Russian hat. She had a cat Stanton found on Stanton Street. On cold winter nights, the hat sang Russian army choir songs, and Ursula drank vodka. Stanton, though, never learned to trust it. In Herald Square, the Statue of Liberty has lunch with the Silverman. The copper robot tells them joke from when he used to be golden. The statue complains that her feet hurt from standing all day. I wonder if she lives on Staten Island and takes the ferry home. I imagine her lifting her skirt over puddles and nodding to the other lady in the harbor. I wonder if the Silverman sleeps with the paint on, or if he showers. How the paint runs off his face like mercury, revealing a strange person in the mirror. How the bathroom glints in the moonlight, and all the pipes shine, silvery inside, as he reaches for the towel. Signs the end of the world is near. Time to move to New Jersey. In Times Square, Jesus is eating pad thai for lunch, and a bunch of Elmos are joining the armed forces. A recent transplant from the ninth circle of hell chats with an old lady in the subway. She can't hear anything because Spider-Man is playing the saxophone. In the tunnels, someone detonates a teapot bomb by accident. Everyone runs but the sax player. In Bushwick, the local artist takes her peacock for a walk. The queen bee is walking tigers on Broadway on a golden leash. And my neighbor is walking a white dog named Noon and a black one named Midnight. He smokes and stops to pick up after them. He has a cat named Insomnia at home. At Starbucks, the latte costs $39. The barista is wearing a Putin t-shirt and a Karl Marx beard. He speaks with a strong Russian accent and writes Comrade Claudia on the cup. Eating a freedom omelette with freedom fries for breakfast. I pay for the latte and sit at the table with Lord Byron. He's holding a toy bus in his hand and says, God bless you. The walls are covered with portraits of Justin Bieber and Beyonce. On the black and white TV, Wolf Blitzer announces that Beyonce had just won the presidential elections. One should always ask, at the end of the world, what would Beyonce do? She'd move the White House to New Jersey. What happens in the poem stays in the poem. Take a dream vacation to your beautiful pain. Enjoy its 5-star hotels, fine dining, and dazzling nightlife. Find new romance under your heart's Eiffel Tower and play the penny slot machine. Slide your tokens inside the wounds and pull the handle until the 3 cherries align. Pound after pound of shiny poems will pour out. Don't delay, book your trip today. It will be the experience of a lifetime. Thank you.
Hello, and thank you for joining us. I am Diana Manole, and I am very happy to be part of the Romanian Women Voices in North America reading series. I was born in Bucharest and emigrated to Canada 20 years ago. My 7th collection of poems is going to be published this year by Grey Borders Books in Canada, and it will be launched on December 1st, Romania's National Day. The first poem I will read for you is from this book. Fleeing. Becoming. I became Romanian fleeing. I became Canadian when the US took my fingerprints because a border guard rendered my smile suspicious. I became white when my cafe au lait skinned neighbor lost her teen son to a cop's misunderstanding, taking a plastic gun from the dollar store for an X-rated real one. I became a Christian when I celebrated Christmas with a Buddhist family from Vietnam, plus their carefully wrapped homemade spring rolls. A Jewish colleague who escaped the Soviet Union before perestroika, plus her Tu Bishvat almond and dried fruit cake baked to honor the tree's new year, and a Muslim girlfriend, a spiritual beer lover, plus her belly dance. I became the other woman when I whispered, I love you, and he didn't get it because of my overseas accent. An immigrant hyphen, no longer abstract. My next poems are from my current manuscript, my first collection written entirely in English, Guilty Until Proven Innocent. Honey. To Heraclitus and his river. The honey I've been seeking since my last breakfast at home. A little bit of light, trapped in a little bit of ambrosia, with just a sprinkle of gold for a better aroma. Heavily and quietly pours into my veins, alluring, like a reincarnation that hasn't been consummated, with the hunger to touch and be touched of an apostate after 7 years of solitude, with the grace of a puppeteer sculpting his puppets in foam and moving their joints with the movements of life, with the vigor of an earthquake, longing for the long-lost connection between Earth's core and its surface. A stream of honey in which I can never see myself a second time. My next poem is dedicated to all the seniors who have lost their lives before their time in spring because of the pandemic. It has been published in the Blue Nib magazine. Recoding grief. Kids and grandkids line up in front of the nursing home's windows, one at a time, masked, but open-hearted, hoarding on affection more than on food and cleaning supplies. Light travels in slow motion through safety glasses and glass. The kindness of waves is standing medically timed glances at kings and queens of the pandemic limbo, majestically waving from their wheelchair thrones. Smiles freeze. Strings of digital frames curve down under their own weight between 3 feet apart endings. Cell phone network overload amidst quarantined crowds, like they did last summer during jazz festivals and football games. The paradox of breathing. Outside breaths splash love on frosted window panes. Indoor mist mixed with COVID-19 kills it. Should we apply CPR when each exhalation spreads around more death, more viruses, viable for 2 more hours? A rundown ER doctor wonders on the news. Oh God, do something, I can't lose a second parent today. Mom died on her 60th wedding anniversary. Dad died the week before. Frail screams, covered by ambulance sirens, abruptly diverted to the morgues. The fondest, most moving, most melodious of hollering. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Parents and grandparents dying alone, buried alone. No embalmers, no mortuary makeup artists, no open caskets, no viewing. The loved ones take turns in front of screens to say their goodbyes. Gravediggers and priests as the ultimate frontline workers, trying to ease survivor guilt, live streaming the service. Hasty glimpses at the hastily punctured earth, ground glass opacity in the lungs and memories. Amidst socially distanced wailings, a bull-eyes squall makes the final handful of soil leap up onto the cemetery workers' touchscreen. Digital icons flinch. Randomly reason apps learning how to empathize, recode themselves into prayers. My last poem is called Lovers and is dedicated to all the women on this planet. We walk at a distance, actors not knowing what to do with our hands. The silence of plants. You are a suspect, he warns me. And so I am, a woman. See me. Thank you very much for your time.